Welcome to the Spiro Hangout, where we talk all things spearfishing, freediving and foraging. We're three guys from Devon in the UK who are excited to share some of the learnings from our spearfishing journey with you over the coming episodes. We bring in some special guests along the way to help spread some in-depth Spiro knowledge from some of the most experienced people in the scene.
Yo, how's it going, lads?
Hey, buddy, you all right?
Hey, boys.
Yeah, good, man, good. So, what we've been up to? Not much, since we recorded the last one last night.
I've been to bed, and then that's about it, really.
Yeah. Well, at least we get some content out. That's the main thing.
Yeah, there's a Facebook drama today. Might be worth mentioning.
What's that about then?
Or should we not get into it? Because it is a lot of drama.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama. People don't want to hear it. I'm sure they do, but I can't be honest.
I think to sum it up, it is the same group of miserable naysayers.
It's just a shame, isn't it? Because
keyboard warriors.
I don't really understand it, because to me, we're a grown bunch of men and women who enjoy a great sport.
Yeah.
And yet there's these undertones, and it's like a tribal kind of thing, isn't it? And it's weird. Yeah. I just can't wrap my head around it.
But it's always coming from the same specific people and their ilk.
Our good mate Lawrence was quite spot on what he was saying the other day, and I think you had the same conversation with him, Ben, where he was saying that it's such a new sport in the UK that there isn't really like a divine etiquette established for it, whereas like with other sports, hunting sports particularly,
right,
there's an actual like etiquette and rules as such to follow, and going outside of that etiquette or outside of those rules is like a big no-no, and obviously then you have full rights to bash that person, so to speak. But we don't have that really for spearfishing, because it's such a new and small sport.
Yeah, we talking about cuttlefish, or are we talking about something else?
No, just talking about spearfishing. When you were saying about like it being quite like a group of negative people who bitch and moan.
No, I don't think it's even that. There's just it seems to be a little bit of tribalism, really, and yeah, just like some like silly remarks that are just like it's not really necessary, as far as I'm concerned. If you wouldn't say it to my face, then why would you put it on Facebook? I just don't really. Yeah. And it's not been aimed at me personally, but I still kind of take offense to it, because it's been aimed at my friends and people that I know and respect and I know are lovely people. So
it's also
let's leave the drama away from the podcast. Let's move it on, shall we?
It's just, as I say, the same old people, and it's bullying, and it needs to stop. But yeah, we got Maxime Blondel coming on.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to have Max on. I don't know how well you all know him. I think, Rich, you've done a course with Max before?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, man. It actually, like, at the time, I thought I knew a little bit. Turns out I knew nothing, so it was really, really good.
Yeah, he's like the master, isn't he? And Anthony, you've been on a couple of boat trips with him as well through the club, I think?
Yeah. So through the ESC. So obviously he's also known as the Frenchman. But yeah, he's the chairman of the BSA, chairman of the ESC. He's run quite a few little late afternoon dives after his courses for some of the club members. And really, really nice guy. Obviously owner operator of the Frenchman Limited, and he's in his spare time. I say his spare time, his actual career. He's a medic and commercial diver. So hopefully loads of information out of him. Obviously we can't fit it all in one episode, but we're definitely going to try and hammer him as much as possible. So let's try and get him on. Max, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Max. How are you?
How's it going?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Max. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Welcome to the Spiro Hangout. We've a long-awaited guest to get you on. Very much looking forward to this. But
thank you.
We're not going to keep you too long because I believe you're going away tomorrow again.
We're taking the ferry tomorrow from Portsmouth to Caen. And then we're going to spend a week on the wrecks of the D-Day.
Nice.
After some big bass pollock, maybe some cod if we can manage to find them.
Lovely.
Awesome. Well, Max, introduce yourself. That we've we've got the notes sort of in the back end. So if you just want to go through them, your name, age, where you're from, and all of that.
Okay. So, well, my name is Maxime Blondel. I'm 38, soon to be 39. But I live in Exeter for the last 8 years, and before that, I was living in France. Basically, a small time in Australia for a job, and but that was it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you've been in the UK 8 years now.
8 years, yeah. I moved in Exeter in July 2014.
Awesome. Yeah. And your other name that everybody obviously knows you by is the Frenchman.
The Frenchman, yeah.
Cool.
we needed to establish if we said your name in a French accent, is it classed as being racist or not?
No. I'm all right. I'm all right.
You never know these days, do you?
No. I'm all right. I'm all right with that. Just with a little story. The Frenchman, basically, when I moved to the UK, I started hanging out with some local spearos. One of them is Corey. Probably you've seen it on some social media.
Yeah.
And he was always calling me the Frenchman. And then sometimes we were going into a pub after a dive and everything, and everyone was like, "Is that the Frenchman?" And then since when I created the company, I just say, okay, well, let's go for that. I think it's just gonna stick to me. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
And family, kids. I believe I've met your wife. When she wasn't your wife, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It was a while ago.
She's been my wife since April. But we've been like about 10 years together. So yeah,
she does a bit of spearfishing with you as well, doesn't she?
She does she does some free diving, a little bit of spearfishing, but we met around the pool doing underwater hockey.
Oh, nice!
Another underwater hockey player.
Yes.
I don't know what you call yourselves.
Octopushers.
Octopus player, yeah.
Octopusher.
Octopusher. Yeah, we had Dave Stevens on a couple of weeks back.
And I know Dave very well. So
yeah, you lot are crazy in that sport. That is about as aggressive as it can get underwater, I think.
No, to be fair, there's like water polo is way more violent. Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, we are meant to underwater hockey. We are meant to be a non-contact sport.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
meant to be.
Yeah, meant to be. I've seen some videos on YouTube of people getting out with gashed eyes and stuff. So how long have you been spearfishing? Sort of from the start. When did you? How young were you when you started?
Basically, I grew up by the sea in the south of France, and my dad, my two uncles, my granddads, even my mom did a bit of spearfishing, and we always had like a little sea or ribs in the family. So all the holidays were by the sea, and I started first with like a net going after the small gobies and everything, and then he went into like a pole spear. Type of spearing, because you're not allowed a spear gun down in France. You're not allowed a spear gun before you're 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
So it's part of the regulation. That being a policeman, it was hard to get him to give me a spear gun. So I had some sneaky dive with a spear gun, but before my 16. But it was like a kind of hard work. So did a lot of pole spearing, rod and line as well, a little. And then as soon as I could get my spear gun, I just didn't let it go since.
What was it like down there? Is it much different to where we are now? Or
so I grew up by the on the Mediterranean coast. So yes, it's much different. The dives need to be longer, deeper, and it's really hard. Like here in the UK, in your first maybe a year, you're probably going to shoot fish around 1 to 2 kilo very fairly easily.
Yeah.
The day you shoot a 2 kilo fish in the Med, it's you put a red cross on the calendar. It's hard work. It's really hard work. One of the main reasons is 300 days of sunny days and flat sea, and so there is pretty much somebody out at sea every single day. Other reason is the area where you can dive. So the 0 to 30 meters bracket is very squeezed on the coast. So basically, 100 meters away from the shore, you're already at 30 meters. So
Christ.
everyone is packed into that little area, so which makes a big heavy pressure on the fish, and then basically they adapted very well.
Yeah, so the fish know it.
Oh, he knows. It's mental sometimes, but yeah, he knows.
What's do you have like a different variety of species over there? I mean, I've seen a few of our fellow spearos go down that way and catch bass, and the same kind of species.
So we got in the Med. You got the bass, which is called a wolf, which is a funny one, because on the Atlantic side in France, we call them bass as well, or bar, like a pub.
Right.
And in the Med, it's called a loup, like a wolf. But it's exactly the same fish. After we got like a different kind of labrax, the
breams.
The breams as well. So we got the black breams, we got sargus,
white bream,
got also the dentex, which is kind of in kind of the same family. And the wrasse, different type of in terms of colors and stuff, but it's like a same family as the wrasse. And we got some blue water fish like the amberjacks, barracudas, and then all the family of scorpion fish and lings in caves and stuff. Murray, conger, obviously.
It's quite a good variety, but just
you've got a large variety. Not in numbers, and to get a good size one, you need to work hard.
Very, very, very different. And in terms of the terrain out there, because we were talking to Sam Clothier, Wet Mammal, yesterday about some of his stuff all across the world. He was saying how the terrain in the UK is quite UK specific in that there's a lot of kelp. It's a very hunty style of spearfishing. Is that the same for the Med, or is it more reef?
In the Med, first there is no kelp. You got some kind of a seaweed called Posidony, which is like a long one, and you got like a mattress of them. But you can bury yourself, but they are probably at the highest 50 centimeters high. We don't have any forest like that in the Med at all. Like Brittany is like UK, all Brittany is like very kelpy, but like the Med is you're gonna play with rocks basically most of the time.
Interesting. I guess it's just the temperature of the sea that affects that, is it?
Probably, yeah, probably. I don't know exactly the science behind it, but it's probably the time of the growth is not possible. The water temperature is too high, or
Nice, cool. And just going back to the name that obviously you were given, and then you've turned into a business, so the Frenchman Limited. What is the Frenchman for those that don't know?
Oh, basically we're providing some spearfishing courses, and then we've been doing it since 2018. And first season was only 3 clients, and then 9, and then the season after 35, 45, and
oh wow!
And we did I think this season about 70.
Wow. Christ, that's
amazing. So it's not just you anymore then?
No. I train the coach, and probably will be more coming in the next few years.
Nice. Awesome. Because is Sam Seeley working with you now?
Yes.
Yeah. No,
He's
that's
been
awesome.
working all this summer with me.
And so with those spearfishing courses, what is it that you offer on them? And sort of what's your best selling course, or what's your best selling product from the Frenchman?
Thing is, what's make a bestseller, I would say, it's the fact that we're tailoring the course to the people.
Mhm.
So we had like a complete beginner, never put a snorkel in their mouth. And then basically, maybe they're not going to touch a spear gun, but we're going to make them confident on what to do the day they get the spear gun.
Mm.
Or we had people coming and they had like 10 years experience or 15 years experience, and they wanted to improve on some area. Example, some wanted to do, okay, when I do aspeto, example, I don't know, the fish is not coming. Why? What I do wrong? So we're trying every dive. Basically, we're doing with the client to see his body position, all his movement, all these kind of details, and then it's really hard to correct yourself if nobody is pointing at what the mistake is, or the little imperfection is. You won't notice it by yourself unless you've got somebody videoing, and then you watch all the video after. If you want to do that on your own. But then we're correcting that, and then we're trying to encourage the clients to, on the next dive, to apply just on that specific detail and not focusing on all the rest. We slowly build up a better hunting style, to say that, for them to, once they go back on their own, they suddenly things gonna click. Is they gonna feel, okay, no, when I go down, I'm not vertical like I should be, because during the course we're working on the verticality. I find myself, I'm not deep enough in the kelp or these kind of details.
Yeah, awesome. So it's from ranging, like you say, from beginners through to experienced guys, and
Yes.
just working on trying to give them as much bang for their buck as possible in the obviously short time that they get. Oh, that's awesome. And do you do this full time?
No. It's a summer job basically. Unfortunately, UK is not the best place to do that full time. So
Not the greatest weather during the winter.
yeah, but during the season is excellent because in terms of fish, there is a lot of fish. So it's kind of, it puts a bit more fun into the course. When you can't go back home with whatever, a crab, lobster, a small wrasse, a mullet, bass, pollock, whatever we find on the way. So that's quite nice. Yeah. No, the rest of the time I'm working as a medic. I'm a qualified nurse and working as a medic on TV program abroad. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
And so, and did you do that training in the UK? Were you like NHS side, or did you do that military?
I did all my training in France, back in France, and my medic training. Well, I've done it actually, but the medic training I've done it in the UK after completing my commercial dive.
Nice. Because I seem to remember, was it last year or was it this year? You were in I think it was this year, really hot country, following them round.
We were in Jordan. We were in Dubai. What we've done, and then and after we did Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan.
That's following around a TV crew.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And what kind of things are they recording?
It's like a TV program, a bit similar to Race Across the World.
Oh, cool.
The UK show, but it's a French version. It's called Pekin Express if you want to check it out.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And as part of the Frenchman, you've got your stunning, gorgeous boat that you use. Tell the listeners about that. I fucking love your boat. Honestly, that's my next. Like when you sell it to go and get a different one, okay. I want it.
Okay. So it's a 585 Recraft. It's a hull from 2004. I just changed the engine last year. So
is it 2004 hull?
Yeah.
Christ, you've looked after that well. That thing looks.
But the previous owners didn't use it much. So nice. When I got it, it was quite pristine. I retubed it last year because the tubing, 20 years of tube, the tubes are starting to be tired. and I need to be relying on my boat, so I can have a burst tube in the middle of the sea while doing a course. So that's not acceptable. So he got new tube last year. Last year it was like in February. Sorry. So yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. But yeah, no. Apart from that,
and it's coded, isn't it, for commercial use and stuff?
Yeah, it's coded for commercial use.
So it's got the life raft on it and everything.
Like that's why, yeah, you got to have quite a lot of equipment. Mainly in safety equipment is required.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the one thing that I will say about going on a boat with Max is you don't realise how many people don't think about spear tip protectors until they get on your boat. Honestly, the start of any boat session that I've gone out with Max has been right to the steering wheel, on the right hand side of the steering wheel. Sorry, on one of his like chrome bars.
Yeah.
There's like 20 spear tip protectors. By the end of that session, there's none, and it's like, where the fuck do they go?
I'm making from the old bands, and just make I think I probably did 100 this year. I got two left hanging. So
you need to charge everyone at least £1 for them.
I don't know.
So moving on to like your courses and stuff, Max. I actually did a course with you a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Which was really cool. Actually, I really enjoyed it. But let's talk, because obviously I saw your recent post yesterday about your new tiered course system. So I thought it'd be quite a good opportunity to speak about it tonight, and like for you just to tell everyone what it's all about and sort of clarify what we're doing, really.
Well, what basically my idea is to by doing like steps, people is to be very clear with my clients, so people know, clients know exactly what they're coming for, and there is a clear it's just about the clarity of you go in that course. It's not people saying, oh, it's a spearfishing course. Now it will be that many points to go through to validate your level, and then obviously that open to your access to the next level, and so on. I don't know. I'm standardizing my own course. I've been seeing, I have no intention to standardize the whole UK. I don't have that pretension at all. So it's only.
There's been a few posts on Facebook, hasn't there, about things like that? But that's why I thought it'd be good for you just to clarify what you're doing, really.
Yeah. No, but I don't want. I don't know why some people are so aggressive. Like we are 180 comments, so on.
Yeah. I mean, I've been following it on Facebook all day today, and I haven't commented because I'm actually pretty fucking seething at quite a lot of the people that have posted stuff, because it just makes no sense whatsoever. Before I get into that though, with the tiered, so are you sort of aiming to go for like I don't want to say an AIDA or RAID or anything, like a step-by-step program that takes somebody that can be completely new through to advanced levels, and just giving them the recognition of, look, we all know that Max the Frenchman is a phenomenal spearfisher. So out of anybody, really, yes, you've got the authority to be able to say you're either a brand new diver or you're decent. And it will be like requirement for each level. If you don't fit in a requirement of level 2, that means you need to pass by level 1. And for me also, it makes it safer for me as a business owner is for my clients can't if they fit in, if it don't fit in level 2, they can't do the course level 2. Is very clear. It's easier to understand where you stand, and then we can work on. Yeah. Well, going back to those posts on Facebook, I mean, as I was saying, I think what I can see, or from my point of view, what you're trying to do is similar to the AIDA that is for free diving. And I can't see anything wrong with what you're suggesting or what your business is doing whatsoever. I think, and we'll move on to the BSA in a second, but I think a lot of people are saying, well, Max is chairman for the BSA. This is going to be, he's going to be putting the BSA into have to have these kind of,
to go spearfishing. I'm not stopping anyone going spearfishing. First, people coming on my course, they're choosing to come on my course. I'm not pushing anyone to come on the course.
Yeah.
And secondly, we can do the parallel with ADA if you want. It's not because ADA is there, which is an international recognition, which I'm far off that recognition yet. It doesn't stop you going freediving with your mate, even if you're not an ADA diver. So I don't know what kind of scarecrow they're afraid of. I don't understand, but
I saw a lot of posts on the Facebook saying, calling for, as soon as they saw this, calling for the BSA to put a statement out to say that there's going to be no requirements. And I literally sat there going, and the amount of people that said it as well, the BSA has got nothing to do with these courses whatsoever. No. That is Max and the Frenchman, not Max, the chairman of the BSA. And
exactly.
They are black and white.
And I haven't put any kind of my business into the BSA, despite being a chairman. So I'm completely split between my business and I do the job to say these two entities separated. So I don't know what people thinking. That's with my power, because we saw that. I can achieve in the BSA. No, I think I can achieve a lot more on my own.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the posts that was perfect was, and the BSA is a great association, but that there's a few, I think it was like a few thousand spearfishers in the UK, of which there's only 300 in the BSA.
Exactly.
The BSA doesn't really have a massive amount of clout, but at least it's going in the right direction and it's the right associational setup for the cause, for the good of the cause, if you see what I mean. There's been an absolute avalanche of dickheads. On Facebook at the moment. And I think that just a lot of people need to shut up and wind their neck in, or sort of grow up and appreciate that we can all disagree with things. It doesn't mean that you then start name calling or expecting stuff from people.
But it's the easy way of Facebook and all the social media.
Out of curiosity, what are the sort of like? I mean, I guess the requirements to progress to the next level of your tier courses would be like a massive part of that would be depth, I guess.
There is a component of depth, obviously. And then there is time, but we are far away because my view on the breath hold is you don't need to be a 3-minute diver to catch any fish. So we are far away of any kind of requirement for the free divers, like 3 minutes or this kind of stuff. It's not there. And also there is a kind. Well, that's that's a prime for you guys. There is a kind of a parkour with a shooting at the end and the re-rigging. So we will ask us how the client is able to do this parkour. So,
well, I'll be all right at the depth part, probably the time, but when it comes to the shooting at depth, I'm going to fail because my aim's terrible.
Well, it will be on static target to make things.
I'm probably still going to miss. I'm surprised I hit the gilt yesterday.
Have you figured out what the tiers are or the requirement is for the tiers yet, or is that still all a work in progress?
No, that's pretty much established. A few details, but it's pretty much established.
There's 3 tiers.
Yeah, will be 3 tiers. Yeah.
So just end game to be tier 3. What have you got to be able to do?
End game is 30 meters divers.
Nice, cool. Because, and what a 20 kilo tuna.
No, basically there is no absolutely no requirement, no passing points of catching because
I think you should change that. I think unless you catch a tuna,
anyone can blank. It's there's no point of you got to.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be pushed to kill for killing.
yeah.
So that is not part of any kind of passing point for me.
So they've
Just
got to
just
bring
out of
you the
curiosity-
gills of 100 bass or the beaks of 300 wrasse.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity as well, like if someone had done a course elsewhere, does that count towards it, or do they have to do 1, 2, and 3 with yourself?
What kind of course you talking?
So I don't know. Let's say they've done a spearfishing course with David Miller, for example.
Well, the thing is, if they did with David, maybe they got an ADA 1 or 2 in the bucket.
Yeah.
So I will do some kind of bridges with the ADA and the Molchanov
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
recognitions.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Nice.
Because if they done like an example of Molchanov 1, there is a rescue, which is also part of for me is an important point. So that's part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
So I know if they come, okay, I've done the Molchanov 1 with Matt Hill, or I've done ADA 2 with David Miller. I know they done a rescue at such a depth.
Mm.
So there is some stuff. So maybe they won't need to do the theory of the course. But they will need to do the theory of the level 1, but not having the practical, because we're going to review the practical at a just greater depth in each level. They will have the written exam of the level 1 to do, and the written exam of the level 2 example.
Awesome.
Well, I think it's a very good idea, and mainly from a safety aspect of specifically the new divers, but also people that just want the confidence in the safety of the diving. And I would say if you've got like an ADA style, then once you get to level 3, that you've ironed out a lot of your bad habits, or you've got the competency.
Yeah,
definitely. But everybody on social media that's trying to pull the BSA into the Frenchman's courses, wind you from necking. It's got nothing to do. They're not crossing over, and it just so happens, Max is the chair of the BSA. So tell us a bit about the BSA. What is the BSA? What's it all about? Who's it for?
Basically, it's an association made of volunteers that try to create a kind of a safe environment and safe points for new Spiro to come and discover the sports. We also organize the national competition, and we're trying to send a team to international events. So yeah, that's basically the aims of the association.
Nice.
However, yeah,
and so you say it was for sort of a new for new spearfishers, but I take it obviously everyone that's a spearfisher really can get in and reap the rewards of the benefits of the BSA.
It's a very small association, so a benefit you shouldn't expect any very massive benefit. But the prime one is the fact that we managed to get an entrance cover for our Spiros for when they go hunting on their own, which is probably the cheapest one you can get on them. But you won't find cheaper on the market anyway. As an individual, we also pushed on the last with the before I was chairman with Matt Newman. We were pushing hard on developing clubs, so Piros can have an answer to question locally. We will talk about the X club later, but it's one of them. So developing the local answer to a need, because the sport is growing. After COVID, people have changed their lifestyle. They want to be a bit more sustainable. They want to catch their own food. They're not anymore in that routine of oh, I'm working hard the whole year around and just do a 1 week of spearfishing. They change the style really. So then the club is a good place to start. Start meeting up with people. The club give access to people a good range of abilities. So from beginners to very experienced people, you can share. So yeah, the membership is about £2 a month.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the cost of the year is what, 25 quid for the full year?
25 quid to the BSA membership. Yeah. And after whatever your club is charging as a membership. So,
and you're saying that covers your insurance as well as a spearfisher?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that insurance, because the one thing I think I read through it when I first signed up, because I'm sad as fuck, but it's like a public liability insurance, right?
Third part liability, yeah.
And so what kind of things would that insurance cover? Is it if I accidentally shoot a boat?
Yeah, if you hurt a third part, basically.
Cool.
So far. But the thing is, as long as we don't have numbers, it's going to be tricky to go further. But on the long run, if the BSA grow enough, you could expect kind of a change in terms of the quality of the insurance. So it could be maybe included a traveling insurance, a gear insurance when you're traveling. All these kind of little things like. But that comes through supporting your association. You can expect like I think this year. So so we are 300, about 300 members. So you do the calculation quickly. 25 people, it's £7,500.
Yeah.
I think the insurance for all the club committees plus every individual is costing £4,000.
Insurance.
So that's a large amount of the budget going just for insuring to everyone.
Yeah.
So, but then if you grow enough and you're able to pay £10,000 a year, then suddenly the insurance company can provide a lot more for a smaller amount. I don't know if you see what I mean.
Yeah. You get more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, cool. And you're the chairman this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does that role entail? And what do you do on a sort of a day-to-day with the BSA?
So we are organizing. It's more like a planification role, trying to coordinate the social events, the competitions, and then the social media side of the things. We also try to develop some branches, because we were talking about some offering some training for the clubs, such as like first aid and stuff like that for when we do comps, or even within a club to have some like first aiders. But that's in the pipe. It hasn't come through yet. It asks a lot of time, and unfortunately, there is a lot of how to say that, not being too harsh. A lot of people are talking a lot, but not very little actions.
Yeah.
So sadly, you expect some stuff, and then these things are not coming, and then that means you end up like doing some other jobs instead of focusing on developing what we want primarily thinking doing.
Yeah.
I think what you're trying to get at is there's people that will preach and say that they want it done a specific way, but aren't willing to put their hand up to try and help.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Or the should have, would have, and that's every day.
It's
Yeah.
How many?
interesting.
Sorry,
Go
mate,
on.
I was going to say, how many people are involved? Is it like a committee where everybody has a specific role, or is it more of a general leadership group?
Well, I'm not even talking about the roles, because in the committee we have a chairman, myself as a chairman, but also a vice chairman who's trying to help also as he can.
Yeah.
Secretary. This year we are missing a membership secretary, so secretary was and myself were playing the membership secretary, as trying to do follow-ups with questions regarding membership and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We have a social media manager, which is Joel Seven. We did he's when we give him we giving him the informations, and then he's doing all the posts on the social media. We have a treasurer, which is Graham Worley. He's stepping down this year, so we will in need of a new. And after we have some independent. Oh, it's not independent. How you call them? Honorary members that have been BSA member since the creation of the BSA, and then we have got a representative of each club within the committee, so they are aware of what's going on. So that's the way we work.
Nice.
After this year puts some light on the fact we need a team GB manager to organize people going to competition, international competition. We can't do the funding of the world competition, so they will have to organize some fundraising or chasing sponsors to try to get some bucks for sending a team. Like this year, a full team, I think it was we are talking about $4,500 to send a full team in for 4 days.
And so for that, is there only one a year, or is there multiple?
So every other year, basically, you got the European Championship, but Euro African is they group the Africa and Europe together. Euro African, which is the qualifying championship, and then you go to the World Championship.
Cool.
But,
nice.
Yeah.
Where's the world?
Next World is in Spain, in Galicia. Nice. So
cool.
So, yeah.
It's interesting listening to other sort of countries, how they run their clubs, because in Australia it's very structured, where they have some of the guys do the training committee, for example, where they'll train the guys and newbies that come into the club, and then they'll have different seminars throughout the year and stuff like that. But then it goes back to what you're saying, that the more people that join the BSA and the more people that join the clubs, obviously there's that funding available for that sort of stuff. And it would be nice if that happened. I mean, because
definitely,
it would just provide that sort of element of extra experience and safety and everything else, wouldn't it? Without people having to necessarily do courses, I guess, even though they're not bad thing to do, but some people just can't afford to do them, can they? So
yeah, absolutely. Right. They with the club, with the X club, I've been doing every year the beginners bureau the key checkouts early in the year with how to rig your bands, how to rig your gun.
Ben, I think you went on that, didn't you?
Yeah. And to be honest, that was the most valuable thing being part of the club, was that little starter session. And now I do it myself, no problem. And it's not as complicated as it sounds, perhaps, but it was just really nice to have you there, Max, kind of talking me through it.
Yeah, you need someone to show you how to do it. It's nothing crazy about it. It's just if you try to do it on your own, you're probably going to take you a few weeks. When maybe in a 2 or 3 hours workshop is done and you sort it, and then you know what to do, how to do it, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think those things are really important.
I'm a massive advocate of YouTube learning and watching people do it on YouTube, but there is nothing that compares to going and spending a couple of hours with somebody that's really experienced. A lot of the stuff that I've learned, I've been with Davo. And just watching how he works, because I mean, God, the guy's got gills. and he's been spearfishing a long time. And just trying to pick and watch what he does. But I just don't think you can get that from YouTube.
No,
And
no. The
you'd
thing
be
is,
blind without it.
yeah, on YouTube, on YouTube, you're gonna get like how to do a knot. Yeah, fine. How to, this kind of stuff. But the spearing experience, you won't get it because on YouTube, it's only the good moment that you put on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Mm.
It needs to be clear. All the missing, they're not on YouTube or very little.
Yeah. They don't take videos of blanking.
Yeah, or blanking. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were saying about the national competitions and stuff earlier on. How do you feel they went this year? Unfortunately, you didn't manage to get to any of them, I don't think.
No. Well, I was meant to do the one in Chadabra in June, but been cancelled.
Postponed because of the weather.
And then after my season is full on, so I just free that weekend to maybe just do that one because it's the club, it's a club I am the chairman of, who was organizing it. But overall we had a good turn up, like between 30 and 45 person turning up to each of the comps. So it's not the bad numbers. Knowing that in the past the BSA had a politic of very extreme competitors and numbers went down. So the competition is one thing, but we're trying to work towards something a bit more social. All the social dives within the clubs or inter-clubs dives, which is probably more important than only comp. But they've been run quite nicely. We also put in place like the registration, the pre-registration, so people have the organizer have the numbers, how many people are going to be in the water that day in advance. They don't like we got somebody 20 people turning up on the day. Suddenly we were 15 and we got 35 people in the water. So it's not manageable that way. So we put in place this kind of pre-registration with like a template registration form, which I think works. Some people are not happy about it, but that's the way it is. Things need to change because we need to fit into also the risk assessment that has been agreed on. So if we don't fit, if we can't mitigate risk and stuff like that, it's going to be our insurance won't cover the committee organizer. So it's all this kind of stuff that's been changing. There's been some crackling, I would say.
I mean, the world has changed, hasn't it, in the last 20, 30 years? And I guess competition has been going on for quite a while now. Is there anything else in terms of, I think, more on the sustainability aspect of the competitions that kind of you can see on the horizon changing?
Yeah. Well, definitely. You can't have all the species there and shooting 20 of each fish. So there's already a cap of 10 for the non-capped by a bylaw, like the bass where it's only 2, and then so getting these 10 fish per species is not really achievable in every kind of for every species. So, but like for the bass, which is only 2, because unfortunately we don't want people discarding a fish that they think is small because they shoot a new one that is bigger. It's a fixed point per catch, so to discourage trying to shoot a bigger one and ending up with an illegal catch. So it's that way we try to by the point system rather than like a fixed point system rather than a point per grams. We also raised the minimum size for some of the species, which is like way over the minimum size of the bylaw, because one of the other reason again is if you shot like the bass is 45 centimeters for the comp, the bylaw is 42. Somebody shooting at just underneath 45, we are sure is still a legal fish to be land, but it won't be counted in the comp. Pollack went from 30 centimeters to 40. So I think we need to push this kind of stuff, and also we ban some species like congers. Well, depending the area as well, but there's some species being banned despite not being protected.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, I mean, we attended all the competitions and we've loved it so far this year, even though we've done absolutely shit.
Still a laugh though, yeah.
I heard that the Cornwall one was a hard one.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was going to be the easiest.
The Cornwall dive was the worst dive I've had so far this year.
Really?
It was. Yeah. I think it was a combination of the day before there'd been yellow and bluefin tuna. There was at least 5 seals in the water, and supposedly that's a low tide spot, and we were fishing high tide. And so it was just like a combination of this is just not going to work. Yet Kev Daly walks in with 10 fucking huge pollock. It was like, what? How does this magician magic these fish?
He's a very, very experienced viewer.
Yeah, he knew where to go and knows how to call the fish. And then moving on to the smaller club, which is obviously the ESC or the Ex Spearfishing Club, which is our local, of which you're chairman as well. So
yes, I do.
You're a busy boy. And, so as you were saying earlier on, obviously the Ex Spearfishing Club is the kind of like a local level club underneath the umbrella of the BSA, and just kind of trying to give the local people the information. Is that right?
Well, we are keeping the local. Yeah, the idea is to have like we are Devon based, and then we trying to have most of our members are Devon based as well. You know, we might have few Welsh and few Cornish, but overall is all Devon based. And then is all about the sharing of, you know, like the local informations, the days out that the club can organize. Like we did two days this year, 2 days out, plus the campsites at the end in September. I try to organize like a one every other week boat dive evening. You came to a few. We got a few boat owners in the club, so it's great if people who don't have the chance to have a boat to own a boat to just jump in for 40 quid for an evening diving around the. Most of the boats are based in Plymouth, so meet up at the marina and then we just go out for 4 or 5 hours, and
Yeah, nice. And so the X Club was way more packed last year, and it kind of split off, didn't it, into 2 others?
It's funny because so last year we were basically the only club. The ESC, we started the X Club in 2020. We had like 40 members. In 2021, we went up to 50-ish members. But maybe many members were Dorset, Wales, Cornwall, because we were the only club.
Yeah.
And between the transition in 21-22, basically, we managed to push the other clubs. So the Cornwall Club, Dorset, Forces, Scottish, what's missing? That's 4, that's 5. The LIC and was that 4? I think Southsea.
Because the LIC's been around for a while, hasn't it?
Well, yeah. I guess, yeah. I don't know the history, but yeah. So that's 7 clubs. So then now we have like a split of people going back to their local, which makes sense. You know, they have absolutely no hard feeling. You know, like I say, like example, Matt Hunt, who was in the committee last year of the X Club, went into the committee of the Cornish Club, which made complete sense. He's lived in Cornwall.
We're all a part of the club WhatsApp group, and you're more in touch with the people that you're more likely to go diving with.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Which just makes sense.
Yeah, it just makes sense. And so, but despite that splits with all the clubs, we have now as much member as last year.
Nice.
Because there is a flow of new members coming in, still local people, quite local, Devon-based, that joined. So,
and is Cornwall and Dorset clubs, are they getting the same sort of influx of new members? Do you know?
Like Cornwall, I think they're about 20 members this year.
Yeah.
And Dorset, so we are about 60, they're about 20. There is another 30 in the forces, maybe.
Yeah, nice.
I don't have the exact numbers, but yeah.
Because Rich is a traitor.
Is he?
Yeah, aren't you, Rich?
Is it Dorset?
Well, yeah, I was just waiting to chime in then. Yeah, well, I moved over to Dorset because I wanted to start diving Dorset purely for reasons of just improving my spearfishing, really, because obviously diving Devon and diving the same areas all the time, you just don't really push it anymore, do you? Because you learn where the fish are, you learn this, you learn that. So, I wanted to dive those new areas and just push, myself. And yeah, it's been great.
Okay.
I was gonna go into it earlier, actually, when you were saying about why the benefits of joining the BSA. And for me, like, this season has been probably one of my best seasons so far.
Okay.
And that's purely down to some of the club members of Dorset, like them helping me and assisting me. And like I've said it before and I'll say it again, like, massive thanks to Dan Newman. But yeah, Dan's literally like taking me under his wing and just like, lending me gear to try, for example, told me like, a couple different spots, but not just that, but like also how to hunt in those spots. And so I've learned loads from him already. And I'm actually on the committee now for Dorset as well. So it's really nice to get.
Are you?
Yeah.
You kept really that quiet.
Did I? I'm sure.
What's your roles? What do you do?
We don't really have like specific roles.
Blowjob giver.
Yeah. I'm just the ass kisser. We just we just kind of just well, for example, I've planned the Dorset Open. Part of that was my
and you made
trophies
tickets
and
as
the
well,
vouchers. And, all that sort of stuff. We kind of just like put, Dan will put something on the committee's page saying this needs doing. Does anyone want to jump in and do it? And it's just a way for everyone to get involved. Like, it's good. It's a lot of time. I mean, Max, I don't know where you find time to do everything, but it takes a lot of time to do all of it. That's the only issue. But the thing is,
don't tell my wife.
the thing is, you have to sort of give a little bit to receive. That's the way I think about it. I'd rather give into the committee and give my time, and then in return, like I have, for example, Dan Newman teaching me how to be a better spearer, for example.
Yeah,
and not just Dan, the other club members as well.
It's like for me, I grew up in France, and I've been part of the federation, the French Federation, for 20 years plus. So it's part of my kind of spirit is, well, you got a federation, you need to support it. Sometimes you can disagree, sometimes you can't, but at the end of the day, is where I grew up in clubs. So it was hockey, it was fin swimming, it was, but it's still a club, and it's still I've been in committees, I've been chairman of a club in France as well. So it's part of me, the club life. So it's like you say, it's really important. I had like a great time in my club life.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And so finally, sorry, go on, Ben.
No, I was just going to say, do you find any time to do any spearfishing yourself, or is it? I mean, you're doing so many different things, Max. Do you have any time to yourself?
Yeah, I'm trying to sneak a 1 or 2 dive after the courses.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do like, it's not as much as I would like, but I'm already on the water. So
yeah, sure. But you're not sick of it. You're not like, oh, this is my day job, so I don't want to do it as a hobby.
No, I go back out. I go back
Yeah.
out.
Nice.
So you still enjoy it. You still enjoy it as much as you used to. You
Oh
still
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
still what is it? The word that Shrek uses, Ben?
What?
Froth.
Frothing.
Yeah,
Frothing for it.
what makes you froth? What is spearfishing to you? I guess is the question, isn't it? That Chuck usually asks.
Well, it's a large part of my childhood. It's a large part of my adulthood. I don't know if you say that, but yeah. And managing to have a part of my year being earning my life with it, so it's a good achievement, I think.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
awesome.
I won't trade any day in four walls of the hospitals like I used to do for about 8-9 years. A day on the boat out, even if it's battering, even if it's 2 meters swell, rain and everything. No, it's better to be there than to be in the hospital. So no, I won't change anything.
I love it.
Nice. Yeah,
And
that's cool.
what's your most memorable dive so far? Being sort of like, say, for example, the most beautiful or the most memorable. What's like the one thing that you think back to that one day that you were diving and you go, yeah, I haven't had anything like that so far.
It was my first amberjack. I was 18, and so we were 4 spearers on board, put the anchor in, and I'm the first jumping in, and I had a feeling something was around, but I had no clue what. I was expecting more like a Dentex or something quite small, and suddenly I got that massive torpedo coming straight at me, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." And I was seeing just a black cylinder coming towards me, and what's going on? What is that stuff? And
It's a Russian submarine.
yeah, it's a Russian submarine. And then suddenly just like give a tail and then went sideways. And I saw the wolfish on his full length. And then he carried on coming after that towards me. He just did a shot, swim hard to the surface and just like scream everything I could. And then my mates came and then they put like an extra tube spear into it. And then after holding it into the boat, it was like a sketch because one of them just holding the tail and the fish still put some tail flip and then he lost his mask, his snorkel flew away.
Christ.
And the way back to shore, so basically where the boat was moored in a harbor, and my family had a house like probably 500 meters from the harbor. And I said to my mate, "Oh, we're going to call the friends, and then they bring the car. So we put the fish in the boot of the car." And he said, "Oh, no way! I'm walking through." And he went in his wetsuit, because like a busy summer in the south of France, and he was carrying that 30-kilo fish on his shoulder, dripping his blood everywhere. Yeah, that's my best mate. My best mate. Yeah, he said, "No way, we putting that. Everyone needs to know."
Nice.
So yeah, so that was one of the memorable words. Yeah.
Cool. And so on the flip side of that, what's the scariest moment you've had while spearfishing?
Oh, I think his boat.
Yeah.
When you see the boats passing, when you are underneath at like 20 meters and looking up, and you see the boat is passing maybe 5 meters away from your float full speed.
Yeah.
And then you just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait a bit longer. I've been touch wood. I've been lucky. I didn't have any close encounter where I was like less than a meter away from a propeller. But yeah, boats are a danger for us, definitely.
And you've never had any sort of experiences as shallow water blackouts or anything like that?
Once again, touch wood, no.
Good. Yeah, best way to keep it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think when I was like a 16 at the early stage, and once my the line of my float lines being under a rock, and then I was coming up, but suddenly a fella pulled down. I released my belt, but it was kind of a stressful moment. Not scary, but stressful. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you think, but yeah.
Oh, it definitely make you think. Yeah.
And what? So, have you got a favorite eating fish in the UK, Max, or is it what's your preference if you're going to go hunting?
I'm 100% flatfish.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any flatfish. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite? Like sole? Or?
Well, sole, place, even the flounders. I find them good.
Yeah, I was saying that the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't have luck to shoot a turbot, but I ate turbot in the past, and then they're really good. But yeah, flatties. I would say flatties in general.
Would that be your dream fish then, a turbot? Like, would that be your dream fish to land a turbot, or?
Well, it's one of my is in the bucket list.
Yeah. What else is on your bucket list?
Oh, nice gunnard. I saw a few, like a 20, 30 centimeters one, but like a nice big one would be great. What else? Like, I don't know. There's so many fish,
That's really annoying me about the other afternoon, lobster hunting, and I saw a gurnard, and it was huge. And
really?
It must have been 30, 35 centimeters ish. So huge for me, considering I've never seen it, but they're so pretty.
Some of them, yeah.
Their wings, their fins that come out that are all like blue. Yeah, it was absolutely stunning.
Take it with a pinch of salt, mine, because he did miss an 18-pound pollock in Scotland.
It was a 24-pound pollock, actually. Fucking hell. It made bluefin tuna look like whitebait. It was huge.
There's a few fish I haven't caught yet. So, like I saw a few John Dories as well. But,
cool.
That big, the body. It's too small, It's just but even if I think there's 26 centimeters, the minimum size for them.
Yeah, that's still a big fish.
It's ridiculous. It's just it's 26 is that. So it's, to be fair, I wouldn't. Oh, I've seen some of them. I didn't shoot. But yeah, there's a few fish I haven't shot yet. I haven't catch.
Interesting.
Nice.
Like back in France, megas. Like what you call them in mullerways. It's something looks like a mullerway.
Right.
We have them in the Atlantic coast of France. So that is one of the big fish.
Nice. And so with the spearfishing, do you still dive Europe wide? Do you still go over and dive in France? And which do you prefer? Do you prefer?
When I go back to France. 2 or 3 times a year visiting the family. I always squeeze a dive with my buddies there because all my family is still in the south of France. So yeah, always squeeze a dive. I lost a massive dentix like 2 years ago. I was like gutted. But, it was a big one. But that's part of the game here. I still enjoy my dive even in the med, even if I know it's going to be hard work.
So just before we get into listeners' questions, what item of gear could you not live without ever?
My piecette.
Why is that?
Well, honestly, just top infections make you don't stink pee all the time. Before my 16, I actually didn't have piecettes, and probably my parents hated me for that. So it just changed your comfort, and being comfortable in the water is it's a prime.
Yeah.
See, I still haven't got a piecette yet, but I think.
Have you not? I didn't realise that.
No.
I couldn't do without it now.
That's why he showers like he's in Baywatch after the top spring.
Exactly. that 30-litre drum of hot water I've got.
He's there like shaking his head around. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Put it away, man. Nobody wants to see it.
Oh, shut up. You're getting fucking turned on by it.
I couldn't spend that many days in the sea and not having a piecette. No.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
I don't think they make one big enough for me. That's a problem. And finally, money no object. What one thing would you add to your arsenal for spearfishing?
I written down, I've written down just a new boat.
Yeah, and so yeah, you've written a new boat setup for specifically for spearfishing.
Yeah.
Is there one that you'd want? Have you got your eye on something?
There's nothing. If it was, no money talking, no money object, it would be like a custom one where you got like a hatches that can hold a spear gun completely, all protected. There's fins set up. Everything has a specific space, but also very easily to be picked up when you want to jump in.
Yeah.
Every little space will be optimized at the maximum to have a clean deck when you travel, and then easy to pick up to jump straight in.
Yeah. No.
Would you have a rib still, or would you go?
Yeah. No, I'm a rib guy.
See, the only thing that I've seen, because I've just got a new little rib, a little 4.5 meter Avon Adventurer.
Yep.
And again, if money was no object, I'd probably go for a hard, FRP boat, but with a really, really nice ladder setup. Just so that it was really easy to get in and out of. It's only because I think with the tubes, unless you've got a massive boat, the tubes take up quite a lot of space, I feel.
They do, but I find the handling of ribs way better than.
Oh god, yeah, yeah. I mean, my thing cruises at just under 30 knots with 4 people on it, and it is so stable, so stable.
Yeah, it's in terms of safety, I think is way better.
Yeah,
but that's my personal opinion.
No, I agree with you entirely. Well, I think Rich had a listener's question for you.
Oh,
yeah. So this one's coming from the Jersey Spearer, and he just wants to know what's the most common bad habit that you see with people or like experienced spearers that turn up on your courses.
One of them is a bad duck dive.
Yeah.
It's something. One of the main correction we do on even advanced spearos is correcting the duck dive. For me, a duck dive is like a good like a sprinter in his starting blocks. If you put only 1 foot in the starting block, it's not gonna go well for your run. So your duck dive need to be perfect or close to be perfect, because it's setting you up for the rest of the dive.
Yeah, I mean, not to blow loads of smoke up your ass, but that was the one thing that I think improved. And when people asked me, it was one thing I proved the most when I did your course was my duck dive, because that was the first thing that we practiced as well, wasn't it? It was doing the duck dive, but then tucking the gun in, so as like to have it nice and streamlined. And that's stuck with me since I've done your course. That's the way I dive now.
It's the streamlining. I did a little not podcast, blog on my blog, little article, and I had a chance. One guy from London is working on like a 3D engineering stuff, and he sent me like an animation of what I was describing into the blog, and you can really understand what's going on if you just put your hands there, or if you do very large kicks, or because you got that drag. Is the drag during the duck dive during the glide is immense.
Where can people find that blog notes?
Oh, it's on the website, on my website, the Frenchmanspearfishing.com. But yeah, it's
nice. And then another thing on a similar point is, and I learned not to do it from my freediving course, but do you ever see any of the experienced spearos diving with a snorkel in their mouth?
I do. The thing is, you need to commit to one or the other. You can't start with the snorkel in the mouth, take it out to just pop at the surface. I think is from a freediver point of view, I think they're 100% right to go for no snorkel, because they often hold on to the float, hold on to a rope to maintain just by the strength of the forearm, which is a very small group of muscle. However, for us spearos, you come back, it's choppy and everything. Maintaining your airway out of the water without your snorkel is going to be very tricky. I 100% prefer to pop to the surface, emptying my snorkel by blowing it, and then just relaxing flat on the surface, because I'm not using any ounce of oxygen left in my body. So it's really two schools. And then to be honest, there's no real study to show that one is better than the other one.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Cool.
What do you two do, Ben, Rich?
Snorkel out. That's what David Mellor taught me. Take the snorkel out straight away as you dive down, and don't put it back until you've taken your, I think they call it hook breaths, is it?
Recovery breaths, yeah.
The recovery breath, yeah.
Yeah. So you take you 3 or more recovery breaths, and then you can put it back in and relax.
Yeah,
that works for me. But I don't dive in. I think you were saying, Max, like when you're diving in big swell or whatever, that might be a bit more difficult. It certainly feels absolutely fine for me, and I wouldn't have thought it'd be a problem. We've dived some fairly rough places.
Rich?
Yeah, pretty much the same. But even if you're diving in big swell, I tend to find if you like turn your back to the swell, you can still get your recovery breaths in anyway. So,
one thing that I have found more recently, and again, it's nothing to do with the snorkel in the mouth or anything, but my right ear is constantly having an issue with equalizing after 2 hours of diving. And just out of the off chance, I swapped the snorkel from my right side to my left side, and it stopped the issues that I'm getting in my right ear. I just wonder
what you could do, because I tend to have like light headache when I slide my snorkel under the strap of the mask.
Yeah.
So instead of that, I tape it on the outside of the mask band, not on the inside.
Right.
And then basically the band was pressing the snorkel tube against my crane.
Yeah.
Skull. And then that was creating like a kind of local pain. So it could be the same. I don't know how you're putting your snorkel around your mask, but if it's under the strap of the mask, it could be the reason.
Yeah. And I think that, as well as combined, I nearly always sleep on my right side. So I think like my right side is just getting battered, and my eustachian tube is just constantly inflamed or something. But it might be worth trying to get, because I've seen those clips. The cheap mask and snorkels. They come with those clips, and they're whenever I used them, they were shit.
Yeah, because also they are they keep the snorkel quite far away from the mask, from the band, and they're flapping, making everything flap and everything. So if you just tape it, like with a figure of 8 tape around it, it will be close to you, but on the outside, not to squeeze against your skull.
And what do you use with that? Just like electrical tape?
Yeah, electric tape.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'll certainly give that a go. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Well, Max, it's been, sorry to keep you for so long, but it's been fantastic to have you on. And very, very much looking forward to getting out diving with you again. And we'll see you obviously at all the AGMs.
Yep.
And Ben, Rich, anything else?
Yeah, no, just for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I saw in one of the questions, you were saying the AGM is probably for the club. It's going to be in January. I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah, the ESC AGM. Sorry, I didn't ask that. So January, and it's going to be a physical one, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, because hopefully we will have 20 people over the 60 members of the club.
Yeah, definitely.
So we can do something physical.
Yeah. No, I look forward to it.
Thank you, Max.
Well, have a lovely trip.
Guys.
And safe trip, safe journey, and we'll see you when you get back.
See you.
Cheers, Max.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you want me and Ben to be here, or?
I wasn't going to say anything, Rich. But
Can you shut the fuck up? This
I
is
feel
my
like I've just
podcast.
watched Netflix for the past hour.
I mean, if any of you boys want to fucking take the initiative and chime in at the same time, like be my guest.
Mate, we don't get a fucking chance.
Oh, I don't want the delay there.
Fucking
No,
hell.
I'm trying
it's
to
cool,
react.
mate. I know. It's fine. Absolutely fine.
My missus
Should
says,
we,
that I always say that I'm a good leader, and she says, no, you just always take over everything. I'm like, I'm not fucking taking over. I'm just,
Well, lads, that was good, wasn't it? We thought it was going to be good, and it was excellent. It was, what a guy. So much experience. Another one who's been spearfishing since a child. I feel like I've missed out on 20 years or something like that compared to these guys we've been having on.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Agreed.
the good news is that we're still a fair way from Davo's age, so we've still got a while to catch up.
What's that, 300 years?
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. Yeah, Max is a lovely bloke, and look forward to getting out with him at some point soon again. And
Yeah,
hopefully a lot more people put their hands up to, in the spearfishing community to assist with the BSA, and just grow the sport, grow the group, grow the association, and make it even better than it is.
Yeah, definitely, man. It is difficult, isn't it? Point time, but yeah, you are right.
And it's also difficult to please everyone. I think everybody needs to realise that in any association or any group, you can only do the best of pleasing as many people as you can, but sometimes you're going to have to say no, especially when it comes to money of such a small group. So,
Well, me and Ben have learnt this. We can't please you most of the time, so
you're just not touching me in the right place.
let's not go down that route.
I mean, the BSA committee and even like the club committees, they're all volunteers and they do it because they love it. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. It certainly makes me want to be able to get more involved over the coming years. Now I'm an established spearer and only 7th on the competition list.
I was going to say, has that changed since the beginning?
I don't think so. I keep pressing refresh, hoping that my mate Joe has seen the error of his ways.
No, I'm still in line. Sam, you're still beating me, you bastard.
Well, let's see what tomorrow brings, shall we?
Yeah.
I was going to say, so what have we got on over the next week or so? You guys are going out tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah,
That's fun. Get out in the morning as early as I can. Hopefully, good night's sleep. Get over to Dorset on a secret location. And then, although this podcast probably won't drop for a couple of weeks, you've got Dorset Open, Rich, on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah, that's looking a bit breezy, but I'm sure we'll pull it off.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck tomorrow, and good luck at the Dorset Open. I'm out of the water. I've got too much on. I got the kids' birthdays this weekend. The 2 youngest girls have got their birthday on Sunday, so we got 35 4 to 6-year-olds in a village hall. So I'm going to go into the garage with a shotgun and shoot myself in the face. Well, enjoy your dives.
Cheers, mate.
Sorry you can't make it with us, but hopefully we'll get out again next week sometime.
Awesome. Well, look after yourselves. I'll speak to you later.
Cheers, lads.
Bye, guys.
Yo.